So in this tutorial, I want to talk about how to set up your emails. Obviously, before you can do any lead nurturing campaigns or drip campaigns, you got to set up your emails first. So creating emails in CTC is very easy. First, in order to do that, you need to go to our email building section here. So click on the Marketing Center tab at the top, and then in your left-hand sidebar, click Emails. What you're looking at here is our folder view, and you can create as many folders as you want by easily right-clicking the default folder. You can add new ones, name them, move them, things like that. And that way you can organize all of your emails based on campaign or whatever, however you want to do it. If you don't prefer to have it in folder view, you can click list view, and that'll just give you a big long list of all of your emails. But for our demo purposes here, we'll use a folder view. So what I'll do here is I'll use one of our pre-existing email templates here. You probably recall one of these from being on the free trial here, but we'll go ahead and use this one for our demo here. So as you see here, I click on here, and now I'm in the email builder. So if you have a pre-existing email, you can easily migrate it over into CTC very easily. And what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to go ahead and talk about, before we get into building the email, the different fields you need to fill out first. First, you need to put in the email name. So you can name it anything you want. This is strictly for purposes within CTC, naming purposes for how it appears in the interface. The email subject line obviously is pretty straightforward. The subject line for the email that you want to use. The email from label. So this could be your company name, a personal name. This will show up in the email of who it's from. Obviously, the email reply to address. So this, in this case, myself. Is this a part of a role? If you've learned about roles, they could be roles are tied to users. So if this is specific to a salesperson, say this email is branded, you may want to assign the role. If it's just a general email that everybody can see and use, you'll keep it your default role. Is this email tied to a subscription? If you haven't learned about subscriptions yet, they are a great way for you to group certain email communications out under subscriptions, and they can be set up here. And what you can do is that way, if somebody unsubscribes, it'll take them to a landing page and it'll ask them if they only want to unsubscribe, let's say from blog posts, but continue to still receive newsletters or webinar and event promotions, etc. This is a good way of keeping people still receiving your communications, but allowing them to not get the ones they don't want. So if you want to set up subscriptions, go ahead and do that in the subscriptions tab located in your left-hand sidebar. And when you set up emails, you can easily store them in one of those folders we talked about. So you can choose a folder, and that's where it'll be stored. So let's talk about setting up an email. So I'm going to scroll down here. So as you see here, there's two aspects to your email, the HTML version and the text version. By default, you need to create both for every email, because when CTC sends out your email, it's going to send out both versions. And when the server that's receiving your email for the recipient, if their server or their email client only allows them to accept text, then they'll receive the text version. If it allows them to see the HTML, then it'll showcase the HTML version. They'll never get both versions. They'll get one or the other. But our system has the flexibility to be able to make sure it gets into their inbox. So, with that being said, let's talk about the HTML version. As I mentioned before, if you've already built your email templates, you already have them programmed, you can reuse all your old templates. Copy and paste the HTML code that you have for your templates. Click the source button here. As you see here, now it shows the HTML. Copy, paste your template in, hit the source button again, and you will see your email template appear. So very easy in CTC to reuse emails that you have built in other platforms. Now, obviously, as you see here, there's a lot of features and functionality in this WYSIWYG editor that may be familiar to you. It looks very much like Microsoft Word. You have a lot of the basic features, bold and italics and underline, etc. You could easily change the format of things, the fonts, the size of fonts, colors here. You can add links, upload images. There's a lot of different options here. I'm not going to go into detail on all of them, but if you'd like, you can learn more by visiting our help desk under the Marketing Center area. Building emails, you'll see we get into detail about every one of these features and how this WYSIWYG editor works in its entirety. But once you've created this email, you can easily do a few things here. You can preview it by clicking here, and it'll show what it'll look like in the browser, so you can make sure that it's rendering correctly. You can also um, as well as preview it. You can also send a test email. So just to make sure it works. So by easily clicking send a test email here, you notice this little box pops up, and you can, put in your test emails, and you can send both versions. So you see how they look, and you can send it to as many different email addresses as you have, as many different individuals as you want. We recommend that you set up a couple dummy accounts. One at Gmail, one at Hotmail. If you use an Outlook or Thunderbird, have a couple things so that way you can send your emails to these various platforms to make sure they render correctly. It's important that they look good and render in various email clients. So, if you've used your current templates like we talked about, you can import them, you can preview, you can make adjustments. But let's say you don't have any templates. So let's say you're just completely needing to build something from scratch. I'll go ahead and start a new email here. As you see here, you can easily set up a new email in your left-hand sidebar down here by clicking a link. So we already went over the fields, but for a blank email here, I can easily click inside and I can just add content. So if you want your email to be very much like a basic text, message, looks, very similar to as if you're just sending a personal communication, you can do that here. Type it out and you're ready to go. But if you do want something that's more, HTML, has structure to it, has format and graphics and things like that, we do offer some good templates here. So if you look at the top here, 4 over from the source button, there is an option for templates. So if you click this little link here, you'll see this box pop up. And we don't have 500 templates. We don't do the Christmas theme and the New Year's theme and all that stuff. But we do give you about 7 or 8 really good quality templates here. So if you're trying to build a newsletter, if you're trying to just do something else, you could easily use one of these templates as your starting point. So in this case here, I'll do the multi-column flex template. So if I just click this template here, you'll see that it drops it right into my editor. And I can easily, with the click of a button, add my logo in here using the image properties area here. You can browse your computer. You can upload files that you can use. You can easily add a file in. Select it, and now you've imported it in. You hit OK, and now it puts in. And obviously this logo is very big. If I wanted to resize it, I can go ahead and resize it. Now I put my logo in here. I can easily go into these areas here. I can change out the text, change out the headers. My header here. I can change the font if I want to, different font size. I can go ahead and in here. I can make it larger. I can change colors around in there. I can do all kinds of things to this template here. You can even change the background to the of these templates as well with the colors that are being used in here. So you can easily customize these templates, save these emails, and be off to your first campaign. So once you've done this, once you've created the HTML version, it's time to create the text editor version, and it's not going to let you save until you do the text editor version. So we give you this cool feature here. It's called import from HTML. So if you don't already have the text version, say written in Word, to copy and paste in, if you click import from HTML, the platform will strip out all the content from your HTML version and put it into text. Now obviously it's not formatted here, so you'll want to go in and you'll want to clean it up and format it, add your breaks in there. You'll have to go back in, and if there's any sort of links, you'll have to clean those up. But you go ahead and clean out your text version, and voila, you created both your HTML version and your text version. At the bottom here, as you see, we give you the last few options to think about here. For one thing, you can choose the language you want to appear for your unsubscribed text. Now, as it says here, a postal address will be automatically included at the bottom of your email when sent to ensure CAN spam. We follow strict CAN spam compliance. So automatically for you, every email that goes out, we are going to automatically add in your address, your company name, and a link to unsubscribe. What you can do is you can customize the name of that unsubscribe link. So as you see here, there's various options for what the unsubscribe would say. You can choose this here, and once you've done that, you hit save, and voila, your email is ready to go for your first campaign. As you see as well, there's a save as option here. So you can create this email, hit the save as, rename it, and essentially retweak it, and now you've created a second email. So you can create one template, constantly use save as, and add a new body content and just reuse the same template over and over again. So we try to make creating your emails as easy as possible in CTC. For more information about the details, visit our marketing center and check out some of our handy articles on building emails. Thank you.